So I've talked about this many times, and it's so important. I've went through this myself. If you want to see my story talking about this, please do look back on the videos before. Just not to get into all that today, but unfortunately, unimaginable how many people that are dying every year. Not even to imagine how many people have died in 10 years, waiting for ambulances to turn up. And in this case, in County Mayo, unfortunately, this man died. He didn't live. He didn't see another day. All because the ambulances and stuff took far too long for them to get there. I get into all the details now. But as we know, and it was revealed a few weeks ago, that 58 people a week or so die in accident emergency in Ireland, just like waiting for to be seen, because they're waiting hours, and people that have illnesses, etc., they're waiting hours on hospital trolleys in waiting rooms and stuff just to be admitted to accident emergency. In some cases, they get a bed. And people are dropping dead, probably due to annoyance in a lot of cases because they've been left so long. And people then obviously was they've not treated straight away and they've been left just basically to sit there. And of course that can develop into some anxiety, etc. But 58 people, and then if we take that into account, God knows, it could be 200 people dying a month. More, maybe 300 dying a month. And the state says they care about you. Like, really, do they care? You have to be honest with us, because this doesn't show that they care. Um, so this incident in Mayo, they had to drive. This family had to drive their sick relative 80 kilometers to the nearest hospital. And this is the thing: the ambulance only turned up when they were 3 minutes away from the hospital, so they had to drive 80 kilometers themselves, because the ambulance just simply wouldn't. They were all busy basically, and they didn't have the staff, etc. So basically, 3 minutes from the hospital. It is absolutely scandalous. Because again, the same thing happened to me before. Thankfully, my father did live, of course, thanks be to God. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's so frightening too for a lot of the families. And unfortunately, this case was fatal. It was fatal, and this man shouldn't have died. Simple as that. This man shouldn't have died. An average an ambulance should only take 19 minutes. That's 20 minutes at most to get there. And of course, this was a serious case, as they say, category 1 severe case. Um, it's not good enough. It really is not good enough that this man has died, because then it's the state's fault. There's no other people to blame here. It's the state's fault. It's that the state is responsible for the people dying in accident emergency too. Not to mention the people dying waiting for ambulances. The state is culpable in their actions and these people's deaths. And that's as simple as that. They're culpable in their deaths. Because if they would put you, because again, there's no such thing as no money. There's money. There's plenty of money when it comes to throwing it at Ukraine and throwing it here and throwing it there. But they won't pay the people. And I don't blame the paramedics, because there's only a few of them. There's not that many paramedics in this country. We used to have so many more. But unfortunately, they don't want to pay them. So they just don't want to pay them, and it's a tough old job. Nobody's going to sit here and say it's an easy job. I'm sure you see, you probably lose a bit of yourself doing that job, seeing people dying and stuff. It's not an easy situation. I've been under such stress. But this is the thing: they have the money. They can pay these paramedics. They can pay for more. They can get in the army if they need to be. But again, that's the thing I would suggest. If they can't get paramedics, get the army in. Like the soldiers sitting in barracks, get them out to do it, and pay them, of course, to do it too. Don't be getting them to do it for nothing, but pay them. But this is the thing. It's scandalous. It really is scandalous, and the state is responsible. And I hope this family takes the state to court for it, because the state is culpable. The HSE and the state is culpable in this case of this man. Now, he could have probably maybe have died if the ambulance did get there, but there's likely a chance if they got the paramedics there and they knew what they were doing and stuff, this man might have survived. The same as many cases. And not even to mention too, as soon as the paramedics got there, they have the ambulance, have the equipment there, etc., to keep the man alive. And of course, the ambulance can get quicker to a hospital compared to you in an ordinary car, take example, because they have lights and sirens, etc. These people when they're driving, you can only imagine the suffering that they had to go through that 80 kilometer drive, which is a long drive to get to the nearest hospital. You're probably swerving in and out of traffic, and you're going at 90 maybe miles an hour, 100 miles an hour to get there. It's difficult. For an ambulance, it's a lot more easy because you have lights and sirens. It's not right at all. But the state is responsible. In my opinion, the state is responsible for this man's death. The same as many people. We even look at poor Harvey, Simon Harris, the scoliosis. The state is responsible for that. Simon Harris promised that it would be done. The Taoiseach, the Taoiseach at the time too. He promised that it would be done. No child would wait less than 6 months for scoliosis treatment. And unfortunately, there's so many children dead because of that. So the state is culpable. Like, it's nearly criminal proceedings should be took out in terms of Simon Howes, etc. In terms of the people at the top of the HSE, the criminal proceedings, because there's money, there's hundreds of billions a year, hundreds of billions given to the HSE. Like, surely to God, there's not an issue with money and stuff like that. They have the money. There's no such thing as they don't have the money. They have more money probably than other health services across Europe. But where's the money going to? Like, generally, it's up and going on suspicious in the HSE. But anyway, as I said, I talked about this hundreds of times before, and it's so important because we don't know. In 10 minutes' time, I could have the wing of an ambulance. Who knows what could happen? That's the thing. But it's the fact of the matter, we just don't know, and it's important for the state, it's important for society to have a reliable ambulance service, first of all, that to get the person to the hospital. That's not even talking about accident, emergency, etc. But anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.